Breakfast television weather is brought to you by Reactin. Provides 24-hour relief for your worst allergy symptoms.
Good morning, everybody. We are here this morning in Oshawa. We're at the Durham Flight Center. We're going to find out a little bit more about Girls Take Flight on this April the 18th. Can't believe it's already that late in the month of April, and we still have some snow out there on the ground. And there is a little bit of snow in the forecast as well as we head our way through the overnight tonight into tomorrow morning. Let's take a look at our current conditions this morning as we have temperatures sitting right around the freezing mark. And with that, we have temperatures about +1 over to Niagara Falls, -1 into London, +1 over through Kingston. If we take a look at wind chill this morning, those winds have been about 20 kilometers to 30 kilometers per hour. So that creates a wind chill of -6. We have a -5 wind chill in Ottawa, -4 over through Kingston. There's a look at your satellite. Cloud cover still hanging above the city of Toronto. Slight risk of some morning flurries. We're going to hopefully see some May flowers if we get in later through the week, as we'll see a warm up, and that'll lead us towards the month of May. Daytime highs today right around 5 through the overnight tonight into tomorrow morning. Some wet snow. 5 degrees again on Friday, but put that away because we get highs right around 9 on Saturday. Sunday up to 12, mainly sunny into Monday as well as into Tuesday. Tuesday's high 15 degrees. That's a good looking 7-day, just not the next couple. Now back over to the station.
All right, thanks a lot, Frankie. Looking forward to those spring-like temperatures, finally. Right now, you're going to find a lot of traffic lights out. Power outage in the north end of the city. This is affecting the area bounded by Steeles to Finch and from Victoria Park over to about Leslie. So remember to treat those intersections accordingly. If you arrive to one without any lights, probably no police on point duty. And that is just because it takes them a while to get there. Not an insult. Westbound on the 401, starting to fill in typical volume delays as you head across Scarborough, but it's running trouble-free. It's not a bad drive overall this morning. Looking at the eastbound 401 from the 410 over to the 404, just a couple of busy sections along the way. West 401 as you travel through the Durham region, same thing, just a couple of slow spots. And southbound on the 404 from Woodbine down to the 401, still looking like a good drive, as well as on the Gardner, both into and out of downtown. All right, I'll send it back to you, Mel.
All right, Carrie, just getting an update on that power outage situation. So we just spoke with Toronto Hydro. The outage map that they're showing here, and if you are by any chance going on your smartphone or anything of the sort, it shows that tens of thousands are without power. Toronto Hydro confirming to us, in fact, this outage map is incorrect, and there are only about 400 people in the dark, at least 400 customers, I should say, without power. Of course, there are tons of high-rise buildings in this area as well. So the area is bounded by about Leslie to Vic Park, Shepherd just north of Finch, heading towards Steeles. As Carrie mentioned, there may be numerous traffic lights that are out in the area, so make sure that you treat those, of course, as four-way stops and exercise a bit of extra patience. We'll continue to touch base with Toronto Hydro. They say that it is not weather-related, but they are working on the problem, so we'll let you know should there be any developments here. Now, an update to our breaking news this morning. A man in his 70s has died after being rushed to hospital with life-threatening injuries from a two-alarm fire in the city's East End. This is a live look at the scene. As you can see, they are still holding it for this investigation. The fire breaking out around 3:30 this morning at Greenwood Towers, which is a Toronto community housing building on Strathmore Boulevard near the Danforth. The victim pulled from a 13th floor unit by firefighters. Deputy Fire Chief Jim Jessup says crews reacted quickly. They were able to contain the blaze to one unit.
Great response. Right up to the fire floor, simultaneous fire extinguishment and suppression activities with primary search, and they were able to contain the fire to the unit, really limit the smoke migration so the hallway was not contaminated, and as I said, a really quick rescue and immediate transport to Toronto paramedics for transport to hospital.
Now, there were no other injuries reported here. The fire marshal's office has been called in to investigate. Toronto police investigating after possible human remains found in the city's northwest. Cruisers were guarding the scene near a rail bridge in the Black Creek and Weston Road area. Right now, circumstances around this death are still unclear, and police say it is possible these remains may be those of an animal. However, they will return to the scene when daylight breaks. 14 additional sex-related charges have been laid against a Whitby teacher already facing a number of allegations that he assaulted students. 39-year-old Thomas Grieve, a teacher at Whitby's Robert Munch Public School, he was first charged back in March, but since then, Several other victims have come forward. Allegedly, he faces a total of 15 charges of sexual assault and 15 counts of sexual interference. Police claim some of these assaults happened during school hours. He is on leave from the school board and returns back to court April the 30th. At least 50,000 York University students at risk of losing an entire semester because of an ongoing strike, but it seems the two sides are still far apart. They just finished 2 days of mediation with no end in sight to this job action. They will return for talks on Friday, but that is also the last day to come to an agreement without students losing that entire semester. The union says they're flexible and willing to bargain, but want to see movement from the university. However, the school wanting to go into arbitration, which would end the strike and allow an independent third party to impose a settlement. 3,000 contract professors and TAs walking off the job 7 weeks ago. A Toronto doctor charged with the first-degree murder of his wife will be making a court appearance today. Neurosurgeon Mohammed Shamji allegedly killing his wife and dumping her body in a suitcase near a river in Vaughan. The victim was Dr. Ila Frick Shamji. Her body was found in December of 2016. The charges include first-degree murder and committing an indignity to human remains. The pretrial will be today. It'll determine the length of the trial. It will allow the defense prosecution to discuss any evidence issues. Well, just a horrific story out of the skies. A woman pronounced dead after an aircraft window broke mid-flight, nearly sucking her out of this plane. Now, the tragedy happened on a flight from New York to Dallas. An engine failed at 32,000 feet in the air. Part of the engine struck that window, smashed it open. Passenger Jennifer Reardon was left hanging out of the window from her waist up. Other travelers rushing to her aid, pulling her back inside, trying to plug that hole. A nurse was able to do CPR, but Reardon was pronounced dead. 7 other passengers were treated for minor injuries, and the National Transportation Board says they will be looking for signs of metal fatigue on the engine. Southwest has vowed to inspect their fleet in the next 30 days.